and I think Dbotnik mentioned something about a new device he was working on. Beats me, but I'm gonna go see what he's up to. Day 1. So, I'm not sure why I'm writing this journal. I found it after I woke up in this place. Had a big note on it saying, "Use this, bitch." I can feel that my consciousness has been put somewhere outside of my body, but also feels like I'm in two bodies at once. The last thing I remember, I think Dbotnik said something about helping him with a prototype for an experiment? Oh well. Guess that doesn't matter now. Not as much as the fact that I'm in a woman's body now anyways. At least I look good. I decided to watch some TV since I had nothing better to do, but then suddenly a voice from downstairs called me. It was some lady in the living room. For some reason she calls herself my mother. I'm inclined to believe her because, well, why not? She said something about going to my friend's house, so I just started barging into everyone's home since I didn't know who that was. Eventually I ran into a man who looks like he does his hair at the same shop as Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. Introduced himself as Dbotnik, which I thought was kinda weird. This kid is clearly too much of a failure to be Dbotnik, but I'll let it slide since it seems part of the experiment. This fake-ass Dbotnik dragged me into the woods for some reason. I'll admit I wasn't paying attention when he grabbed my arm.
The experiment clearly seems to be a form of success in integrating the body into the player character. However, there is no transferal of memory. It is as if the player is still knowledgeable about the fact that they are in a video game, only seem to be accepting of the information around them due to being the test subject that I provided.
We found a neat suitcase in the woods with some balls in it, though. I suggested we find the owner when we got attacked by some wild birds. In his desperation, fake-ass Dbotnik stole one of the balls and used it to summon some other animal. Then he threatened to stab me if I didn't do the same thing. So, guess I had to steal an animal. I just picked the first ball I saw. There's some weird leafy turtle in it. I just kinda let him do whatever he wanted. He beat the shit out of the bird by himself. With our crisis avoided, we went home. But along the way, we met the owner of the suitcase. He saw that we stole his animals and just kinda went, took his suitcase and bounced. Didn't even take his pets back. Not my problem, I guess, but I kinda really didn't want a pet. Back at home, Mom said I should go properly apologize for stealing. And when I said that sounded like a pain in the ass, she threatened to stab me. Am I that stabbable? I walked over to the next town, letting my new pet beat up as many other animals as he felt like. He's just kinda doing stuff on his own over there. It's entertaining, so I let him. Once I found the old man and apologized, he said it was fine since the turtle likes me, and I should name it. Having absolutely no attachment to this thing, I decided to just call it Pet. The old man winced in pain for some reason. After rubbing his temple, he asked me if I could fill out some digital animal journal for him. Considering that I don't feel like doing it, I tried to say no. But then his assistant threatened to stab me. Fuck my life.
Test subject may need further incentivization in the future. Possible addition of various other test subjects to certain test subject styles may yield better results.
After being forced to agree to fill out some bullshit documentary, I went to the beach to stare at the ocean. It reminded me of how much I hate water, so I just went back home. Mom fed me dinner and told me it was high time I set out on my own on a grand adventure. I stared at her blankly for a couple of minutes, because I couldn't fathom how stupid that sounded. I swear my body's that of a 14-year-old. Then fake-ass Dbotnik's mom came in and asked if I knew where her son was. Obviously I didn't, because why would I? But when I told her that, she just handed me a bag and asked me to go find him. The fuck is this? Mom gave me a pair of running shoes so it'd be easier to go back and forth. It didn't even occur to me that I couldn't run before. Weird. Oh, she also gave me some doofy-ass hat saying that it suited me or something. That assistant guy, I think his name was like Mike? I think it was Mike. I don't know. He taught me how to catch animals with balls. Then he sat there and stared at me until I caught one for myself. So of course, I stared right back at him since I was not catching another fucking pet. Eventually, he got tired of waiting and caught some cat dog thing for me. He named him Nugget and then just handed him to me. Lame. Once I got to the next city, I found fake-ass Dbotnik in a school, which is kinda weird because I swear we were too old to be hanging out with elementary schoolers.
Being the rival myself does not seem to incentivize the test subject to further battle nor progress the game, though it still amuses me, so I may continue this pattern in the future.
Some of the kids asked if their pets could fight mine. I didn't see a problem with it, so, I let Pet just beat them up, until they stopped moving. I don't know why the kids seemed ready to cry after that. They asked for it, literally. I handed fake-ass Dbotnik his bag, and he called me a bitch, then ran off. Well, I guess he's at least a little bit like Dbotnik, then. Outside, some guy walked up to me and handed me some fancy watch, saying it was the greatest thing since dildos. It made me extremely uncomfortable, so I just took the watch and left. And then fake-ass Dbotnik came back out of nowhere and just said, "Bitch, I challenge you to a cockfight," and threw out some animals. I was pretty bored at that point, so I decided to eat some energy bars mom packed for me in my purse, while Pet and Nugget just kind of beat up his animals. Then he said, "I'll get you next time," and ran off again. You know what? I was way too tired to deal with this bullshit, so I just went home and went to sleep. Day 2. Apparently I slept for like 15 hours or something, because when I woke up it was still dark out. Fake-ass Dbotnik called me, asking where the hell I was. I said I was home, and he flipped the shit saying he's been waiting for me at the gym for like a whole day. I don't know why, it's not like I like working out or anything. Or that we even had a gym in our small-ass town. That's when he told me to go to the mining city, so I guess I told my mom I was going to work out. I guess. She packed me some food and protein bars and told me to be careful of strangers. After asking for some directions, I found out how to get to the mining city. On the way there, everyone kept asking me to have our pets cockfight. Seriously, what is wrong with these sickos? And they all had the same ugly-ass pets, too. Though after I said that out loud, they seemed pretty upset about it. I had to pass through some cave to get to the city. In it, some weird dude gave me a CD, calling it a TM? And that's definitely not what this is. It's a CD, my man. Free stuff, I guess. He also said some CDs can break rocks? Or cut down trees? I think he's just fucking insane. In town, some kid looked at me and went, "Hey, you don't have any badges yet. That makes you a pussy. Here, I'll take you to the gym so you can earn a badge." Pretty helpful that he led me straight to fake-ass Dbotnik, who called me a bitch and then ran away again. Said something about the gym being closed, I guess. Oh well, guess I'll sightsee. I have to say, people are very lenient about you barging into their homes around here. None of them seem to care, and some of them even asked me to go catch wild animals for them. I promptly told them to go fuck themselves, and then rummage through their houses, because I wasn't doing that. They had a museum, which was nice. Except for some reason, it only had mining gear in it, which is kinda lame. Since I had nothing better to do, I went to the coal mines. Some guy there handed me a drink saying it was refreshing. I absolutely did not trust this man, so I fed it to Pet, thinking it was drugged. Pet seemed to like it, so I guess maybe it wasn't drugged? Inside the mines, I found some guy breaking rocks with a CD. Damn. Guess that weirdo wasn't so weird after all. The guy, I think his name was Brian, said something about hitting up the gym and told me to follow him. People really like working out around here, I guess. Helps the mine?
Test subject's choice of Turtwig, possibly forced upon him by another, has clearly led to his easy acceptance of both the reality around him and the push towards beating gyms, as it were, due to it being a no-brainer. Though he is still very non-acclimated to the universe he clearly hates.
It was strangely empty, though. It just had a bunch of rocks. How am I supposed to work out in here? That Brian guy apparently owned the place, so I went to go talk to him, and then these rude-ass kids challenged me to a cockfight. Rightfully pissed at being interrupted, I punched them in the face. I asked Brian why the gym was so empty, and he also challenged me to a cockfight. Forget it. I'm too tired for this. He had some rock pets and a lame-ass dinosaur. I just let Pet do whatever he wanted. Those poor rocks will probably never be the same. Or that dinosaur either, now that I think about it. Never seen a turtle rip a dinosaur's dick off before. It was kinda funny. I got some funky badge for all that nonsense, so that's a plus. Now people won't call me a pussy, I guess. Oh, he also gave me that rock-breaking CD. Neat. I immediately went to the nearest cave and started smashing rocks left and right. Though while I was doing this, some random duck was staring at me. I think it felt some sort of kinship with me, as a fellow duck. He followed me around for a bit. He seemed to like it when I break rocks. After a while, I put down my purse so I could eat some food Mom packed for me, and then the little quacker reached in and grabbed one of my balls. The fuck, man? He headbutted and locked himself inside. I guess he wanted to be my pet? I let him out and we stared at each other for a while. We came to an understanding and quacked in unison. Oh, I also put that down as a name, which, he seemed to be fine with. Outside the cave, that old guy and his assistant were being bullied by some nerds. The outfits were so stupid I couldn't help but laugh and then give them wedgies. They ran away crying. No idea why they were bullying the old man, but that really didn't sound like my problem. I took out an energy bar since I was still kinda hungry, and then some bird started pecking at my food. The audacity of this bitch. I reached into my rock pouch in my purse, of course, and threw a rock at it. Was what I was planning to do. I accidentally reached into my ball pouch instead of the rock pouch, so I ended up catching the little shit. Whatever, I guess, named her Chirpy, and then I just went home. Watched some TV with Mom, did some dishes, then I went to bed. Day 3. Looks like I slept for a huge amount of time again, since it's still dark out. Not like I had anything important to do anyways, so I decided to just head out and walk north until something happened. I ended up at a town that was really weird. It had flowers everywhere, which was nice, but the people were unsettling. They kept talking about how much they love flowers, to the point where it was kinda creepy. I think I even saw a guy humping a flower in the background. I picked some berries and promptly just left town, but then some little girl walked up to me crying about her dad getting kidnapped or something. I figured I could at least, try to help, so I walked over to the power plant. One of those stupid nerds from yesterday was blocking the entrance. He started making fun of my hat. While I completely agree with him that it's ugly, I was still pretty pissed about it, so I had Nugget bite his shins. After screaming in pain, he ran inside like a bitch and locked the door. Well, tell the kid that her dad's probably dead, and then went sightseeing. Turns out the town is really nice once you ignore all the people humping flowers.
The possible adultification of such processes in the world may be a fault of the experiment or a lack of perception of a child's view of the video game. Further analysis would be required.
Sadly, those same two nerds I gave wedgies to the night before were trying to bully some other old guy. Is that really all these guys can do? Well, since they were ruining the scenery, I gave them wedgies again, the little shits. Now I could relax in peace and stare at the flowers. That is, until the old guy started talking about slathering things in honey. I got out of there real fast. I tried leaving town again, but this time more of those stupid freaking nerds blocked my way. Something about doing experiments in the power station so no one can leave town. Rightfully pissed about this situation, I walked back over to the windmill power station. I kicked the door in, and I proceeded to let my pets have as much fun as they wanted. Oh, there was screaming. A lot of it. My pets had a blast. Pet, Nugget, and Chirpy all even grew a bit, which I thought was weird. Maybe it's a growth spurt thing? Didn't realize my animals were teenagers. Now that I was finally out of that stupid town, I just kept walking north again until I found a random house in the woods. Heeding my mother's advice, I decided to barge in directly into their home. They were pretty nice. Even fed me dinner. I was getting pretty hungry after all that fighting. Fighting's what I meant. After that, they let me sleep with them in their one singular bed. What nice people. After a power nap, I left the pleasant house, and then walked into the woods where I met some weird lady. She just kind of stared at me blankly. I asked her what she wanted, and she just said, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take me!" So, I did that, I guess. She didn't really do anything, though. She just kind of kept staring at me as we walked through the woods. Well, I shouldn't say that. She did do one thing. She caught me a new pet. We ran into a bunny at one point, and for some reason, she threw a ball at it, caught it, and then handed it to me after naming it. I could not fathom why she named it Rule 34. It didn't take long for us to get lost. A lot of damn forest looked the same. Next thing I knew, the sun started to set. Great. Now I'm stuck with this creepy lady, who for some reason is just smiling now. Nighttime settled in and no progress was made at all. Now the woman's smile was super wide, and her eyes looked a little white. Well, at least one of us is having fun. I was bored and hungry, so I plopped down next to a rock and took out some leftovers from the nice people at the house I barged into. I offered some to the woman. She ate, I think. She didn't really stop smiling while she shoved food into her mouth. I'm not sure she even chewed. Fucking weirdo. Well, I got tired and fell asleep while she just kind of, watched me. Day 4. What a strange morning. I woke up and the creepy girl was gone. Instead, there was a strange ball next to me on the ground. I opened it and a ghost popped out. Weird. She had a name tag on her neck. Cheryl. apparently. I have no idea who made a ghost a pet, or why it was abandoned in the woods, but I guess I'll bring her along. Getting out of the forest was super easy this time for some reason. It only took me like 5 minutes to find the exit. Odd I couldn't do that last night. I wonder if that creepy lady made it out okay. I passed by a bunch of people fishing. Good for them to have hobbies, but I didn't see any bait, so I don't know what fish they were planning to catch.
Pandering thought. Would the audience enjoy the test subject participating in a Nuzlocke style of the specified adventure? Further analysis required.
This new city was pretty boring. All it really had was a statue and a bike shop. Though an old man did trick me into falling into a pit trap at one point. That was at least kind of fun. Some pretty lady off the street gave me a CD and said I could cut trees once I got a second badge. Which was neat, but I did not know how to get badges. While I was barging into people's homes, this one lady, I think her name was like Brenda or something, asked me to play hide and seek with her friends. I said sure, since, I was bored, but for some reason every time I found one of them they asked me to have our pets cockfight again. There was something seriously wrong with the brains of the people around here, I swear. So after beating up all of their plant pets, they gave me a hide and seek badge. Sweet! Now I can cut down trees. Nice to know that you can get badges from just doing random shit with people. With my newfound cutting technology, I chopped down trees until I got home. Finally, I could eat Mom's cooking and sleep in my own bed again.
After 4 days of mild meandering, the test subject seems to have experienced a moniker amount of success, even if it is due to his own creatures wishing to complete the task more than himself. Further analysis will be required of whether or not the experiment shall continue in its same format, or if more changes will be brought forth in the future. The notebook seems to have been a way to get information, but it is not yet given the entire idea that this is a task and a journey for the test subject to complete. But on that note, for all of those that are viewing this experiment in the future, liking, comment, and subscribing are the major way to keep this test subject en route and actually getting this experiment to the end result of where it shall be. And one day, to the future of even more. Recording 1.